Hi, welcome back to the Urban Schoolhouse, where school is cool. I'm Ebony Weisinger, and I'm here with
Chelsea Weisinger.
And today we are celebrating March is Reading Month. Woo!
Yay.
So we want to get these kids reading, okay? And then we're also celebrating Social Work Month. Yes. So we're celebrating Chelsea. She's our fabulous social worker. And this week, Chelsea, is School Social Work Week.
Yes.
So we salute you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, what's going on?
What's going on? Reading.
Reading.
We're going to read.
We're reading. March is Reading Month. So how can we get these kids reading? So I was just kind of thinking out loud with Chelsea about how parents can maximize this month, March, for helping their kids become better readers, more interested in books, and the like, and to take advantage of schools that celebrate March is Reading Month.
Yes. And have incentives. A lot of schools usually have incentives this month to get their students to read multiple books.
Exactly. When I was young, they had a thing called Book It at Pizza Hut, where if you...
I had that too.
Okay. So Pizza Hut might still be booking it in these streets. So
I think they closed, child. Pizza Hut be closed.
Pizza Hut do be closed, but there are Pizza Huts. Okay, there are.
But that was a really good initiative. Like if another company picked that up,
and other companies may, and they should.
They should.
They should. So you can check into incentives at school and in the community, places like church or wherever you may assemble to worship, and online.
Yeah, libraries.
Absolutely. So that's the next thing. Libraries. What can libraries really offer to kids? Like
a lot
in this world. I know it. Let's talk about it. I think that I was telling Chelsea that as a child I felt empowered with a library card because it was my card. I could pick what I wanted. I could head up to that desk and put it down and walk away with the things I selected for myself. And I think that it's empowering because you have to be responsible for your book. You have to read it in a certain amount of time and return it. So I think that it builds confidence and it also builds responsibility along with the reading skill. What do you think, Chelsea?
Yeah, I think it definitely builds a sense of responsibility with having a library card, having to return it on time, picking out what book you want, all that.
Right, and taking care of your book.
Taking care of the book too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I remember learning like how to take care of a book. You learn about like this is the spine of the book and the pages. Like how to care for a book. Yeah.
Exactly, and also schools do host things like literacy nights and assemblies. So I know when I worked in elementary, there was a night where all the teachers opened up their classrooms, the community, the parents were able to come in, and we all had fun. You could walk around. Each grade level had books out to show their parents. They also had a book sale going on in the school. I believe it's Scholastic.
Yes. Book fairs, yeah.
Definitely a book fair whereby the kids could go in and choose the books and buy bookmarks and, other items that really promote reading and the love of reading. And those are the things that you could take advantage of at school. Some schools have literacy night, and even if your elementary or middle school does not host a literacy night, that's something that you could actually ask about or bring up in a PTA, or whatever organization your school has. And also along those lines, some schools have assemblies where they hype up kids to get them reading. They may have a speaker that might come in and give a motivational talk about the importance of literacy, the importance of learning how to read, and to make it a fun thing, having music, optics, and videos, things of that nature. and making it really, really fun for kids to learn how to read. Giving away things like books, giving away things like bookmarks, and giving away, reading tools. What do you think, Chelsea?
Yeah, I agree. I think those are all great things that can help motivate kids to want to read more. I mean, kind of with everything with kids, you got to put your own spin on it and make it fun, make it motivating.
Definitely. So those are things that I was thinking about in terms of students at school and in the community. But at home, I think that we can do things at home to get our kids reading too. So what do you think about some things that we talked about that can be done at home?
We talked about, I think book reports are fun. I don't know. Schools, I don't know. When I was growing up, we had book reports.
Me too.
But doing it at home, one would be cool. Or if your child is really asking to go to a place, make it a motivator. If you want to go to this place, read 1 or 2 books. And then tell me about them. Even a book review, just writing, reflective questions. Who's in the book? What was the plot? Was there a lesson in the book? What was the lesson? How the characters feel, so they're learning a lot. They're learning about emotional intelligence. They're learning comprehension skills, critical thinking skills. They're learning a lot just from these very simple questions. So they're definitely valuable. Definitely book fairs. Even in school, we'll read a book and then watch the movie. So that was another motivation. Like, okay, the quicker we finish this book, we get to watch the movie. And watching a movie in school used to be a really big deal. So
yeah.
So just ways to do that. Like I know teachers now that, they make the movie a big deal. They'll have popcorn, or like the kids will wear their pajamas that day. So it's like a whole, make it a big deal. Make them feel good that they accomplished this,
Yeah, which kind of leads into the second thing that we kind of talked about, was like to host a theme night, like a book theme night at your home. We talk about some books that are popular to kids at this time, like Harry Potter or whatever.
Harry Potter, again, I work in elementary. I see a lot of Bluey. I see a lot of Dog Man.
Like books though.
Like series books?
Just books, period. Like the book, whatever book you want to, you could do a Bluey. Bluey has books,
Bluey
I'm
has
sure.
books.
So you could host a Bluey night, or you could host a whatever your kid is into night at your house, and decorate it in that theme, and invite kids over that have the same book interests as your kids. And you could dress up like the characters, and then maybe, have some fun with it.
Yeah.
So, what about a reading routine?
Reading routine, children should be read to every night.
They should be read
That's what research says.
When should they start reading to the parent, though?
Reading to the parent?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about that one. What do you
Or
think?
reading by themselves.
Reading by themselves?
You want to make sure your kid reads. Kindergarten.
First grade.
First grade. So they should be able to listen to a story, and they should be able to read a story.
I think in kindergarten they should be able to, like a basic book, they should be able to read it and listen and answer questions about it.
And an older child, middle school, 15 to 20 minutes a day, they should be reading.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's the thing. What about the cozy book nook?
That'd be cute. Yeah. Even in classrooms now, like I've seen a lot of them have like little cute book corners, and again, make it them, make it filled with things that they like. If your child likes princesses, make it princess themed if you want. Again, just make it for them, make it so they want to be there. I think that's a very good idea.
For sure.
And that's a designated area for them to focus on and read. Yeah.
I think it should be cozy but kind of well lit with a lamp or something. I think that it should be an area where they can relax, like, good seating, and a place that is quiet, hopefully, so that they can actually read and retain what they're reading. So that's what's up. So we talked about read and watch, cozy book nook, hosting a theme night, 20-minute reading routine, visiting the library. Oh, and the one last thing I wanted to say is that kids should also, or students, young people should learn new words weekly in order to enhance their vocabulary and to learn the meaning, spelling, and pronunciation of words. Clock it, right, Chels?
Clock it.
So we don't want our kids just learning the phonetics. Chelsea, break down phonetics. Phonics. How to say a word.
Phonemic awareness,
which basically means that I can say march because I've read MARCH. But what does march mean? And am I speaking march out correctly? Am I pronouncing it correctly? So phonetics is about being able to say a word, but it doesn't mean that you know how to explain its meaning. Yes. And use it in your language, in a sentence, in your daily vocabulary. So you want to introduce new words. How can we do that?
Dictionary.
So, like, if we wanted to put a method on it, how do you think we could put a method on it?
Well, I feel like with me, if I just asked you what a word meant, you would tell me to look it up because I had a dictionary.
Definitely. So buy your kid a dictionary on their level.
But also, but telling me to look it up, it's like, I think another theme with a lot of children now is also learned helplessness. So for you to not automatically just help me or do the work for me, but you're telling me to go and seek out the answer that I'm trying to find, that's building autonomy. And just, independence. So, and then again, I'm also learning, so I have to look up the word. I have to at least semi know how the word is spelled, and then look up the definition, and then apply it to whatever I'm trying to say.
Exactly. So basically, for that skill, you could do that all year long. The way Chelsea explained it is like whenever she was a kid, she would have a question, what is this, what is that? And those are the words that became the words that she looked up. So that was the method, which can be used all year long whenever your child is inquisitive about what this word or what that word means. But in the realm of March's Reading Month, you can make it a word a week. Pick a word that you feel like you want to introduce to your child, or that comes up naturally, or you can just settle on a set of words that you would like your kids to learn. And I think that that's smart. You can start using the words when you speak to the child, and you can also start using the words when you are texting or writing anything to your child, so they can see the word and use it properly.
I think also the more advanced books your child is reading, they can, it might be words that they don't know, and they can go and look them up too.
Absolutely, as they read.
As they read.
And that also builds confidence, I believe, because when they are reading in school, when they run across words that they don't know, they won't just skip them. If you teach them to go to the dictionary, how easy that is, and how much they could gain just from knowing that one word makes all the difference in your understanding. I think that's a great point. Okay, so March is Reading Month, and we are very excited to celebrate that. And we do also I want to reiterate about the book reports, is that we don't hear about book reports going on in schools anymore. So if you did want to go into that and you wanted to do a book report with your child, I'm sure we could find some templates online on what you should do as a parent in order to sit down and do and implement book reports with your child, and be able to review the book reports with your child.
What else I think would be fun? Like an at-home type thing. Spelling bees. I don't see spelling bees anymore either.
Yes. So, kind of back to basics is what we're saying when it comes to reading.
Oh, yeah. All the way back.
All the way back.
All the way back to basics.
Yes. Spelling bees are amazing. And those are the type of things that you can do right in your living room.
Yeah, they're fun. I don't know. And then, like, the winner can get a prize.
Absolutely. A nice dinner.
They're fun. Like, let's talk about, like, okay, the words you will learn that week or that month. Okay, we're not going to do a spelling bee on those words.
Exactly. So I love that for kids, that we have a whole month to celebrate reading and literacy. And I would love for all the kids to be immersed in that this month so that they realize how impactful literacy is on their lives, not just for today, but for life. And get bookmarks, read, let your kids listen to stories, and check for comprehension.
Comprehension.
Yes. And not only reading stories, also reading maps, reading graphs,
Anything.
reading charts, anything. All those things are valuable. So when you are having a newspaper, look at a chart with your child and break down what the chart is like. Because I know when I was a young child, when I was reading and I saw a chart, let me be like in a social studies book or a science book, I skipped that. I don't know about you. But it's really good to get down into the chart and understand what's going on. That'll help you with your standardized tests. All right.
You've already talked about plug. Go look at our last episode.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to pivot a little bit and we are going to talk about celebrate, acknowledge, dive into Social Work Month. Chelsea, talk about Social Work Month and what we know about that, what you think about that, how you feel about that.
What I feel great. I think that social work is an amazing field. This week, so the first week of March, so March is Social Work Month, but this week, so March 1st to March 7th, is School Social Work Week. So we're highlighting school social workers, which is, again, what I do. And just talk about the importance of our jobs. So I'm just kind of going to talk about what I do. So I think the main goal for school social work is to bridge that gap between home and school. So I think we've really evolved in school settings in realizing that a student cannot learn if their basic needs aren't met. A student cannot learn if they didn't sleep. A student cannot learn if they're hungry. A student cannot learn if they're grieving. A student can learn if, X, Y, and Z. So I think more schools have a way more trauma-informed and student-centered approach than they did in the past. Even so, simple, schools having free breakfast now.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
And lunch.
Things like that. And I talked to a teacher about that today. Because I have...
And snacks.
And yeah, at my job, the kids get snacks, throughout the day.
And on the way home.
On the way home, even during breaks. I know... we had some snow days or cold days or whatever, and the superintendent had announced that they were still providing dinners for families.
Nice.
So they're like,
awesome.
So he sent an email if you need food, come by the high school.
Yes.
And
Right.
So I think more schools are recognizing that even kids have so much going on. I've met kids that got more going on than me.
Yes.
So
have I over the years.
So you're like, whoa, I don't even know how I'll be functioning.
Yes.
Let alone this child. How is this child functioning right now? So cause I remember when I was growing up in school, I had a teacher. If you were sleeping in his class, he would get a textbook and drop it on your desk and wake you up in front of everybody. Now, I know teachers that are if they know the kid has stuff going on at home, they just let him sleep. So I think we really...
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, not every single day, but again, you don't know what that kid's going through at home. Again, a kid's not going to learn if they're half asleep anyway.
That's true, but you also have to reiterate the point that if it is something going on at home, instead of just allowing you to sleep in school, let's address what's going on.
It's a Band-Aid for sure. Mm-hmm. But I think we can do both. I think both. I mean, I'm not saying like, okay, the kid can always sleep. No. But if it's like especially if it's a kid that never does that, that's a huge indicator of something, that something is going on.
But if you're a kid that shows up every day and puts your head down, then.
Right. But if it's a kid, or if you know something's going on at home, okay, you know, and a lot of the times, school is really a child's like only safe space. Yeah. So it depends, but I just think I think we really evolved and moved towards that approach, and I help with that. And you know, I advocate for kids. I've said it before. I work with the general education students and the special education students, so I advocate for them in different ways because they have different needs, obviously. But yeah, I do that. I'm kind of like a school therapist in a way. I can do restorative circles, restorative meetings with kids that got some beef. I can do that. I talk to parents. I can help parents.
But what does that look like? Like a restorative circle.
So basically, it's just kind of like a very come to Jesus moment.
And like, you know, I'm asking you this so that if a parent is having a problem with their child, or their child is having problems socially with other children, they know what kind of things they can call into the school and ask for. You know, like they can empower themselves by knowing that if there's a social worker, the social worker might be able to utilize restorative practices.
And you know what? I haven't done it, but I have colleagues that have done restorative circles with parents and staff.
Yes.
Parents and administration.
Absolutely.
So it's like, you know, we're like the peacemaker.
Jesus on whatever occurred.
Yeah, we're kind of like the peacemaker in the situation. Exactly. But it's very reflective. Like, what did you do? How do you think that made that person feel? What did you do? How did they make that person? You know, just very like open. Like, can we admit? But also, sometimes we can't do that. Sometimes a restorative circle can't happen. Maybe it's just too unsafe. Maybe the kid doesn't want to be around this other person anymore.
Exactly.
So we also have to make that, you know, I will say, working in the school period, but especially social worker, it takes a lot of discernment. It takes to figure out, like, what's needed in that moment. Because no situation is a one-size-fits-all type.
And no situation is the same.
No student is the same. Even
parent is the
even
same.
Siblings be completely different. No teacher is the same. Yeah, so you have to use a lot of discernment.
No day is the same.
No. So, like, I walk, and some people ask me, like, what do I do? I'm like, it depends on the day. Like, I could have a idea in my head of what I want to do.
But you have to be flexible.
You gotta be flexible. And then I have a day that's completely opposite of what I thought I was going to do that day.
All it takes is one crisis.
And it can last your whole day.
And the next day.
And the next day. And the next day. And the next day. I also do a lot of social emotional learning. So right now with my general education kiddos, I have different groups. I have groups for basically every age, for every grade. Sorry.
So what do you do in your group?
It depends on the group. So I have kindergartners. I work with them on emotions and being aware of other people's emotions. Also work on impulse control. And I make it fun. Like, we do freeze dance.
Okay.
That's our impulse control.
Okay.
You know?
So you dance until somebody say...
Right.
Stop.
Yeah. So we work on that.
Okay.
My first graders, I work on social skills, and then I have another first grade group. I work with anger management.
Yes.
I have second graders. I work with empathy. My third graders, I do another anger management group. My fourth graders, I do more so empathy. You know, how to, just as a pre-adolescent, just like what to do, how to you know, conduct yourself a little bit,
right? Social
emotional type. And then I have a fifth grader. I work with her alone. I work with her on like anxiety.
So then you do individual.
I do individual and group. Yep.
So on the individual level, what does that look like for you?
It's cool. I mean, usually when I do individual, especially, I don't. My main focus at first is always building a relationship. Mm-hmm. So how I like to start off is I have a lot of games where there's just like questions, like random questions. Like, if you were cereal, what cereal would you be? Like my main goal is to just get them to trust me.
Period.
So the first couple of times we might not even talk about what they're there for. Mm-hmm. But it depends.
Can I ask you a question? Will you be honest?
Yeah.
If you was a cereal, what cereal would you be?
Oh, I've answered this before. I think I said Lucky Charms.
Okay, Frosted Lucky Charms,
Yeah,
magically delicious.
magically delicious. Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, I think I'd be Captain Crunch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the way that sounds.
Okay.
Okay.
I see you more like a Rice Krispies.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Snap, crackle, pop.
I might be a little of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But also, I don't know I don't know how every district is, but for me, I just have the parents sign a consent form, and then we call it a day
For the groups.
Mm-hmm. So I have teacher referral. So if I get teacher referral,
Okay.
well, for any kid,
Okay.
I need consent, either by an IEP or.
So hold on, I have a question then.
Yeah.
So you're general ed.
Mm-hmm.
So you do not need parent consent to speak to general ed kids because it's implied consent because you're the social worker at their school.
I do it if I'm routinely seeing them. I do.
Okay,
If it's like a one-off,
right?
Like there have been a crisis in that moment,
right.
No,
okay.
But if I'm seeing them every week, like my groups, if I'm seeing them every week,
or if you're seeing an individual every week,
yes,
you'll get permission.
Yes.
Okay.
But if it's like a one-off, like just a check-in, no.
Okay.
I mean, I record. I like write down that I saw the kid and what it was about.
Right.
But no,
I got you.
But if I'm like seeing them every week.
Because like I'm regular ed, obviously. I'm a school counselor for those of you who don't know that. And it's implied consent for me. I don't have to gain consent to have individual counseling, even if I did see them weekly. The only way I would gain consent if I was seeing a student weekly, if I was pulling that student out of the same class weekly, which I would never do. So I don't really have in my role to obtain consent unless I'm speaking about something that's off topic, which I don't usually do.
Yeah, when I first started, that's what I was told. And honestly, I'm not really sure, but I just feel more comfortable having that there, so no parent can be like, well, I never said they could go see the social worker.
Exactly. And you know what? I really wanted you to flesh that out because we are here to advocate for students and parents in the urban community. And we want you all to understand that you have the parental authority over everything that we're speaking about. And if you don't want your child seen by anyone, or if you don't want an implementation of any service at a school, you can refuse that.
Yes.
And you don't have to be boxed into anything that the school is trying to do. However, we do encourage the support work that the support staff at the schools that can also help the students, like social work and guidance counseling, obviously.
Yeah, that's the thing about being, especially in like predominantly like black areas, like, and families of color, they're very big on privacy and what's going on at home stays at home. So I've had referrals for the same kids last year and this year, and I'm like, well, their parents or whoever, their guardian, whoever, won't sign off on it, so I can't see them. Exactly. Because they just feel like, well, it's not their business, it's, they're fine, however. Yes. And that's just what it is. So I do a lot of that. I've gone to different classrooms and done social emotional lessons. I've done about bullying. I've been planning one about autism acceptance and just awareness about autism. Things like that. I've done a little group about personal hygiene. Things like that.
I would definitely gain consent for that.
Yeah. So stuff like that. And then also I want to do like a kind of like a school-wide project, maybe when it gets nicer outside, because we're in Michigan and it's pretty gloomy right now.
Right.
But make like little bracelets or something like that, just like fun little social emotional or SEL type activities.
And games.
Yeah. And I go around, like I go to the cafeteria sometimes, I go to the recess and just hang out, just so the kids know who I am and just know, like, if they were in a crisis or if there's something going on, that, like, I'm there. I also think a lot of people think that school social workers are for discipline. No.
Neither is the school counselor.
I am regulation.
I am academic support, social support, emotional support for a student. If they are in trouble, please call. the administration.
Yes, I'm not discipline. I'm regulation. If you're dysregulated, if you're at a 10, I'll bring you down to a 2 and send you on your way.
Exactly. And I function the same way. And a lot of elementary schools don't have a school counselor present. So that's what I do in elementary too.
Yeah. I have a calm corner in my room, so I've had kids that just need a minute. And I don't turn on my little mood lights and they sit on the beanbag. I'll put on some like ocean waves. I have a big like sensory bin.
Create a vibe.
Yeah, I have coloring books, whatever you need. I'm like, hey, kid, you can just hang out for like 10 minutes and then
calm down.
Yeah, just calm down.
Relax. Relate.
Yeah.
Release. All right, so thank you for telling us that wonderful information about your school structure work job. I know you enjoy your work, I could tell. I know my child, and I know that she loves the work that she's doing, so that makes me happy. And I'm proud of you and impressed by you, and the kids are lucky to have you around.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're about to sign out of here. What do we need to discuss next?
Well, firstly, we need to discuss. I will post some, I guess, social work, like things you could do at home. So I'll do some social emotional like regulation for kids.
Okay.
Awesome. I can post that.
Okay.
On our Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, we have an Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok at Urban Schoolhouse Podcast.
Yes. Instagram. Say it again.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
And YouTube at
Urban Schoolhouse Podcast.
Okay.
And then lastly, we'll be back next week. So that is March 15th.
And what we're going to be talking about on our next episode?
The IEP, Individualized Education Plan, and 504 Accommodations
Section
Process.
504. It's a law, y'all.
Section 504. Well, so's IEPs.
It's going to be heavy next time.
Very law heavy. You about to get her Annalise Key on.
Okay, and bring your notebook. Get ready to take some notes.
Very much law heavy.
Law heavy, and just, if you've been having trouble with the disability part of learning, this one to be for you. So, thank you for joining us today at the Urban Schoolhouse, where
school is